So GBPAUD is lining up quite nicely. You can see last week was very strong bullish candle like that. Super strong bullish candle, pushed way above any zones that there was. So possibly this zone around here could be a little drop into there and then a push off to the upside. So on the weekly, we're very bullish at the moment. If I just go over to the daily, make this a bit bigger. If I go over to the daily time frame, what you can see again is also very bullish. If I draw on the previous week's low, so I'll be watching to see what this daily candle right here does, to see how it reacts to the current week, last week's high point, which is around here. So if I just draw that on around there, I'm going to see how this daily reacts to that, but that will be once today closes. Now, if we actually look closer at that weekly zone that I drew on, which was this right there, you can see that last week, Thursday, price went all the way above, strong close above. Then Friday came all the way down, tapped in, and then rejected to the upside. So that actually looks like a daily break and retest of this zone. Again, this is just further in the point that we are looking for price to continue bullish. Right here, a pullback would be nice, but we are bullish definitely by looking at the weekly and the daily. So just chuck it on the 4 hour, you can see it even clearer. The break and retest off this zone was very nice. And obviously price is in an uptrend, so we created a higher high there, then got a pullback, we created that zone from down there. So price is clearly pushing upwards. We're only looking for buys. Price is definitely very bullish. Now if price ends up breaking below there, then I would say the bullish structure is no longer there, and I would be looking for sells at that point. But at the moment, we're bullish. As you can see, the weekly, the daily, the 4 hour, it's all indicating that we're going to continue to the upside. Now, what potential zones could there be? I'm doing this in Asian session. So I'm just going to label off kind of a few of the key zones for potentially each session. So looking at this straight away, what you can see is that on Friday and Thursday, there was nice buys off of the Asia session lows. So Thursday, you can very clearly see there. And then Friday, there was also nice buys in there. So there could be a potential Asian zone created overnight today. So obviously I can't tell at the moment because Asian session hasn't finished, but potentially coming into London, what we could see is around here. You can see obviously the London's in green. We've got that zone right there, which was the previous two London session highs. So if we can get a pullback into there over Asian, and then London to open, drop us into the zone, reject, and then push off to the upside, that could be a potential play. So in London, it was either going to be that, we're looking for that, or we'd be looking for maybe Asia to create a low, and then price reacts off of that Asia low, and then we push up to the upside. And here is what happened with Asia session. If you remember what I said, one of the potential setups we could look for is for Asia to push down and create us a low, of which we could look for a little rejection off of that. So what we had there is Asia low right there. And I'll also draw on Asia high up there, just because that'll come into hand later. So now we have Asia low and Asia high. So this is just before London session started. So I'm going to play out London session to show you what happened. Now in London, what do we look for? We look for a fake out to one side, a rejection, and then a bigger push to the other side. So here's what happened. London opened, it pushed down, went all the way down, came down and down and down, and it is now tapped into Asia low and rejected. So once we see that the 5 minutes rejected this zone, we can start to buy up. So we buy, stops just below there, and we would target Asia high just up there. So if I play this trade out, it pushed up, it rejected again, it pushed up, it came close to TP, and then it pushed up and hit the TP in the end. So just as predicted, we pushed down, we created an Asia low, then London opened, it pushed us down to the zone, we then rejected the zone and pushed all the way back up, catching the buys that we knew we wanted. Now that's what happened in London session. Now what happened in US session? So US session is just about to start here. Now remember the zone I drew on, which was this zone right here, which is a clear US zone. Now this is the start of US session. What happens? Well, at the start of US session, price pushes down and it taps into the zone. As soon as you start to see rejections, you can start to buy. Price actually came in for the second tap and we got a strong bullish candle right there, which is definitely enough confirmation to buy from this point. But if you're buying early, you could have bought around there and then just bought to the upside with your stops below the zone. Now you could have targeted anywhere. You could have targeted Asia high. You could have targeted even higher up there. You could go for 100 pips because the last time, I'm not going to go all the way back because it'll take me a long time. Last time GBPAUD traded at this price here in US session, we created this zone up here. So you could have targeted all the way up there for a 1 to 5, 1 to 6 risk to reward, 120 pips right there. So if I play this out, price pushes and pushes and pushes, goes all the way up. You could have caught that if you saw my analysis, and you can do this yourself. So the whole point is that you can learn how to do this yourself. I easily predicted 2 sessions there, what would happen in both sessions. This is a fantastic start to the week, and this is how I predict how I can catch hundreds of pips each day. Once you know your top-down analysis strategy, you can easily do this each and every day.